So it's John Costa at the Dot Media Centre. I'm absolutely delighted to pick up with our sort of really good friend in India, Kavita Ashok. Good morning to you, my time. Good afternoon to you, your time.
A very, very good afternoon, good morning to everyone who's listening to our show. I say our show because I'm a great pal of John now, and it seems that it's my show too.
Yeah, absolutely, always, absolutely. Yeah, I invite you on to make it much better. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Thank you so much,
Now,
John.
it's good to catch up with you. We haven't spoken now for a couple of months. So there's a few
Yeah.
things that I'd like to speak to you about specifically. Obviously, we're still in the grips of this global pandemic, which we spoke quite a lot about last time. And one of the things that we were talking about was the improvement that you'd seen there in air quality and pollution and stuff. And I just wondered, the world has opened up a little bit more since total lockdown, but are you still seeing good air quality there, or has it slowly started to drift away again?
You know what? I totally feel that nature is very bountiful and very, very gregarious and, magnanimous because humans, how much ever we try to pollute the air, to pollute the air, till now in India, at least I feel we are forgiven a little bit. The air quality is still all right. It's fresh and clean and green. So we haven't messed it up totally up till now.
Yeah. I mean, do you see and this is a debate I have quite a lot with my students and people that I know that are interested in these issues, that maybe the pandemic, for all of the loss of life and all the terrible things, of course, yeah, absolutely, not decrying that at all. But it's been one of those nature-made resets for what we're doing when it comes to the climate battle. It's not sort of made by humans. We've not made the decision. Maybe nature's helped us to make that decision a little bit easier.
John, basically, if we look at from another perspective, I think it's nature's way of cleansing the whole planet, cleansing the whole earth, and it also includes a lot of loss of lives. May not sound very pleasant to any of us because we've all lost family and friends in the COVID, and any such natural disaster or any pandemic which comes along takes a toll on a lot of human lives and employment and settlement and families and jobs and everything. But I think it's a natural process by nature because we refuse to stop. When we refuse to stop, I mean, man refuses to stop. I think nature takes a call, and we have all these things which are beyond our control.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm a great believer that it's one of those things that comes along, and I'm thinking, well, if you don't do anything about it, we'll make things happen. And of course, now this is terrible
Yeah.
disaster which we were talking about at
Yes.
the beginning, and you've just been on 3 different television stations before you've spoken to me, so you've
Yes.
been very busy there where you are talking about this. Is it Uttarakhand? Have I pronounced that right? Am I close?
Yeah, yeah, it's a very beautiful area in the Himalayan region. It's called Uttarakhand, and it's one of the most touristic places in our country. And very sadly, yesterday we had a glacier burst, in the Rishiganga area, and the whole. Hello,
Yeah, yeah, you disappeared
sorry.
briefly, and now you're back again. It's okay.
No, no, sorry, it's one of the TV channels which was calling up. So I had to cut their call. I'm not taking it because otherwise I'll get distracted. So, there's a glacier burst and we've lost a lot of lives. So a lot of military, air force, paramilitary forces, and, the Tibetan border force, the local authorities and the government authorities, everyone is working 24/7 to save lives, to dig out people from pits and caves, and a lot of villages have been, I could say, washed off, you can say, or a lot of losses have happened. Even material losses are huge. So this is a natural disaster. I don't know how much we can blame people there or development in that area. But yes, development is happening because I was there 2 months back in Uttarakhand. I'd gone for a small vacation, sneaked out of the city of Delhi for a COVID break. But I think we need more institutes, John, to study this, because there was a geology institute in that area which was recently shut down, like say a year and a half. So if such important institutes are not present, who's going to advise? Who's going to give the correct information? and glacier studies to the authorities, then how a policy is going to be framed? So I think that somewhere there is a lack there, and we have to mend it in time, because this has happened the second time in 10 years. This is the second. The first happened with Kedarnath. Now the Kedarnath, that is also in the same area, the same Himalayan region. So if it's becoming so repetitive, I think it's time to wake up and understand.
Yes, it seems to be two separate things there, really, isn't it? It's this ongoing, I suppose also Trump was very good at it, sort of people, and we've been very good at it here in the UK, unfortunately, ignoring the science or ignoring experts. So therefore, like I said, we get rid of the funding for those kind of things. And of course, the people that die in these disasters, as always, are never the ones that are running big businesses and wealthy. They're always the people that are living there invariably to service what's going on around them. So really, we may never even know how many people actually perish in these
we've Yeah, true, because we've, since yesterday, I think we've already lost like 150 people. They've died. Their bodies have been dug out. Still more people are stuck. As I talk to you, as I speak with you, the paramilitary forces and the helicopters, they're all tracing people, they're all digging out people. So it's a lot of loss of lives. And trust me, not a single senior politician or a government official has lost his life, as you were just mentioning. They are the poor people who were living besides the riverbanks, poor people who were staying close to that particular mountain area, where the glacier burst, and then the dam burst. So there was no control on that huge gush of water. I mean, nobody could have handled it. It just went beyond control.
Now, before the pandemic, Kavita, to say that you were prolific in your campaigning when it came to a whole range of things, but particularly, and forgive me for putting them into two areas, probably no plastic and things like go green, both of those areas. I remember asking you a question. I don't think it was the last time we spoke. Maybe it was the time before that. And I was saying about how do you campaign in a pandemic? I mean, when everybody's in lockdown and one unifying thing, like everybody's experience of something, how do you continue to do that? Now, obviously, looking at your Twitter feed, as I do, and getting tagged into a lot of things, which is fantastic to see what you do, you seem to be out more, doing more things, raising more awareness, and you've got a Valentine's campaign at the moment. So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so February is a month of love, and I thought, of course, there is a lot of love happening all around us. It's all coochie cooey and lovey dovey between two people, and I just thought, I've been running this campaign for 2-3 years now. So I always do this in February, the month of Valentine, that let's all love nature. So it's basically a campaign which says man and nature should be in love with one another. Like, I'm totally in love with the environment, I'm totally in love with nature, the mountains, the hills, the rivers. So I want everybody to fall in love. Why? Because once you're in love with a thing or a person, you don't want to harm it, you don't want to punish it. So this my campaign, John. I took this is actually my first on the ground campaign for this year. Ever since vaccination is out, and even in India, we are going through this process of everybody getting vaccinated slowly. So there is little less fear in people now, and the numbers have also fallen very, very greatly. So then we ventured out into a community, and we got people together, and we had a workshop on waste management segregation. And so there was a little talk, and then I spoke about my two campaigns: Go Green, encouraging people to do more plantation and not to cut trees, speaking for forestation and against deforestation, because I don't want there should be desertification on this planet. And secondly, we spoke about no plastic campaign, in which we finally at the end of the campaign gifted everyone a cloth bag. It was just a symbol of telling people that understand, stop using single use plastic, whether it's a bag or a straw or anything at home. Stop using even plastic bags, bottles, everything. So it was just awareness campaign. We got a very beautiful response from people, and on my social media, I'm posting people's response from the campaign every day. And we had a lot of green warriors who were ready to work with us. So the campaign was beautiful, because I think I added a lot of more people to the whole mission. So I want to show everyone the bag also, John. You're not here, I'd like to send you one much.
One day I'll come and collect it, don't worry.
So this is Go Green, and it's a cloth bag. And someone asked me on Twitter, from Africa yesterday, and said that, Kavita, I want this bag, and is it for sale? Can we have some? I said it's not for sale because this is purely, for the campaign. So we are getting it printed and we are gifting it. So it's not for sale. There's a difference between a gift and a purchase. So it's not a purchase, because when you purchase, you're more careless. Then it's a gift you handle with care. So this campaign says all that: handle the planet with care, go green, and say no to plastic.
Right, absolutely. I like that ethos as well, isn't it? It was interesting because I was looking through your Twitter feed this morning in preparation for today, and I came across a tweet from the Plastics Impact campaign, and it said about thank you to you for cloth bags and raising awareness, and each cloth bag can save maybe 100 plastic bags. And it really got me thinking actually about my own approach when it comes to partnerships and collaborations and stuff, because it's really important, isn't it, that we work with people that are also in this area and stuff. So rather than trying to own the message, it's about sharing what we do, the action, and sharing our action.
It's beautiful because how much ever people might curse social media, I think it's opened up so many doors, opportunities, and I'm able to connect with people from all over the globe. It's really fantastic because I just told you, I have people from Africa, people from UK, people from US writing to me about the campaign and reverting back. And it's not just on Twitter, it could be Instagram, it could be Facebook, it's even on Zoom meetings. I attend a lot of meetings and conferences. So the world is opened up. So, and it's lovely because I don't want to own one little mission. I want people to be involved. So people is power. So power will come to the campaign only when we have more and more people. So everyone who's listening is welcome to be part of it. And first, before you become a part, you have to promise me for no plastic and going green. Everybody has to plant at least 5 trees in their lifetime, I think. 5 is not a big number to ask. So 5 trees per person.
I'm writing that down. I'm right. 2021, John Costa has to plant 5 trees. Yeah,
it's not a big number, but it's a beautiful number. Yeah. 5 trees is good enough. I think everyone should plant 5 trees.
Yeah, that's interesting. And also, 2 final things, and I'll let you go. Obviously, if you've already cut off one television station, you're in great demand, and I will not stand in your way.
I don't want to go. No, I don't want to go, John. I'm loving it here because you know what? Your audience is different, and your audience is very important to me because you are reaching out to people from all over the world and different countries. So it's very important to me because there are environmentalists, research people, and doctors, and I don't know how many. A whole, a horizon, a whole Zoom of people. There are different people on your platform. So I want to continue talking. I'm in no hurry, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me. Thank you. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of people, when I talk to them as well, often feel quite isolated and I suppose alone, for want of a better term, as in when it comes to wanting to do something about it. They're very passionate like yourself, very motivated. They know there's something wrong and they want to do something. And I suppose that's where young Greta Thunberg's come along and given a lot of younger people a voice, I guess, or permission to use their own voice. Do you think that it's not about what you do, it's the fact that you do something and then you find other people that are like-minded that are doing something and you continue to do that? Do you think that's one of the key messages from yourself, that collaboration and partnerships?
Of course, because see, when I started out in 2008 for environmental issues, and I mean, as a social activist for health and environment, I had nobody with me, John. I just had a will. I just had the will to do. So I think the first thing is, don't think that you'll start big. We all start from scratch, everyone has to start from scratch. So when you start from scratch, so you have to have patience, and slowly I think it builds up. See, today I'm connected to more people and it's getting better by the day, touch wood, it's getting better by the day. More and more people are seeing your work. And secondly, I think let's all remember, even to young people, and as you said, young climate activists or environmentalists, or even young people all over the world, I want to tell them there are no shortcuts. Please don't try to take a short route to success. There is none. Otherwise you pay a heavy price for what you're trying to achieve. So go slow and, keep on. I think it's very natural how people, if they see you're genuine and your work and your passion, people keep adding up and giving you more strength. So I think my strength comes from people, instead of me saying I give them strength, I think I draw their strength when they come and talk to me. I draw their strength. I get their promises made. So I'm the one who's being smart. I'm getting people to promise me to love the planet, to plant trees, not to use plastic. So yeah, I think.
Cool. So my final question is: we spoke about people who ultimately will be the ones that make the difference. I guess there's how many billions of us now all working together. And then we've spoken about that transition from being maybe a member of the public into a social activist. To therefore you're out there, you're campaigning, you're talking to people, not just people that are interested, but also people that are unaware. So you're educating them as well. You're becoming an educator. And then we're talking about the scientists that are giving us, you know, the information and the facts. And there's certainly enough of them that agree at the moment that we're causing harm to the planet. And I suppose we come then to a really important group of people that collaborate together and kind of bounce off each other, which is, you know, big business to an extent, big business and politicians. You know what I mean? So because obviously the politicians will be the ones that will put in the changes and the acts and the political thing, and then big business are the ones that have to adhere to those laws, if you like, around pollution and air quality and stuff like that. Do you think that the pandemic has been a turning point when it comes to where you are locally? Yeah, I mean, do you think that the pandemic's become a turning point for big business and politicians, for them to realize that people are passionate about this now, and social activism will continue to raise awareness of these issues, and, you know, maybe they won't get away with some of the things they've done in the past?
See, I think that real power, of course, lies with the people, with all the citizens of the world. But the decision maker, the decisions, the policies have to trickle in from the top. So it's really good that, you know, President Biden has got back into the Paris Climate Agreement, John, and it's very heartening because obviously we can't ignore the US. It's a very, very big you know, country, and very important one too. So we need more world leaders to take charge, to understand, and not just talk. We don't need talkers. You know, there are enough talkers all around us who talk big and do nothing. I would rather believe in a leader who leads by example, who, you know, who does these, who makes these moves which show us that yes, he's interested, and yes, his party or political party or organization is interested in doing something. Like, you know, look at Bill Gates. As I see Bill Gates, he's very, very prominent here in India also, and we have the Melinda Gates organization and everything. They are doing great work on health, and of course some work on environment also. So I think you have to show your work to people. We don't want talkers, we want people who lead by example. So it's time now that, you know, our leaders, our political you know, representatives in the government take charge, and don't take environment lightly anymore, because it's already taking a toll on all of us, our health, our life, you know, the lifespan, the kind of diseases which are coming up. Obviously pandemic, the COVID is also you know, it's a, I think, I would say, retaliation of nature, because look at the way, you know, it has you know, come up in the world, and nobody was able to help it out because all the science failed, everything failed. You know, it took us at least 1 full year to understand what's happening and how to tackle it. Still we are, you know, betting on vaccines, but let's see how successful they are in actually curbing this whole thing. So I think stop messing and start believing in the beauty of nature.
Do you think in India collectively is aware of the leadership role that it could play in situations like this on the global stage?
See, Indian leaders, as I see, I have seen very, very active leaders in India, not only just now. Earlier also, we had environment ministers, we had prime ministers of India who were very, very alert on environment, and they did great stuff. Presently, I think that, you know, what I would say is our promises are huge. You know, we have good policies. Forest cover has increased. Let me tell you, when you're asking me about India, let me quickly see what I can remember of the latest, you know, developments. Our forest cover has increased by nearly 3%. Then the tiger population has increased in India, because we were losing out on tigers. They are our national, you know, animal and pride. So we've improved on that. And we have this special program, I think, which started last year, which is called Save the Dolphin. So Save the Dolphin is all about marine life. I think finally someone thought about it, because all these species, all these, you know, they were disappearing. So that, and then cleaning of the beaches is now active in India. We have certain groups and volunteers who have finally understood that, okay, this is their calling. See, everyone has a calling. So beaches is their calling. So it's nice to see more and more people. I have never seen India so aware on environmental issues as it is today. Because John, it's very funny that even if I go for a very formal dinner or a very fancy dinner, out of the blue, at least one person in that whole conversation will end up talking to me about environmental
So, yeah.
issues. Yeah. So, even if I'm having a glass of wine, people, they think I'm never on a holiday. So I'm always talking. Somehow the global warming comes up, somehow some Indian issue on environment comes up. But I feel happy because I feel okay, people are identifying people like us. We are representing this issue. So they are understanding that we are so passionate, we can talk about it anywhere. So it's good. I feel happy. This is awareness. I think when everyone's talking about it, that's when it's rolling.
Absolutely, and when they're talking about it in the places where they're not normally talking about it, I think that's a good thing as well, isn't
Yeah,
it? So
good.
that
I know.
sounds like a positive. So listen, Kavita, I'll let you go. Like you said, you've done 3 TV interviews already today, and sounds like another one was trying to get hold of you. So I'm sure there's a
Yeah.
few more before your day ends yet. So that's great. I mean, it's fantastic to talk to you because I feel very privileged doing what I do
Thank
here at the
you.
Dot Media Centre, because I have wonderful people like you who are on the ground at the front line of these social issues, making a difference, not just talking about it, but actually doing something about it. So to actually take any of your time, 20 minutes, 25 minutes of your time, I know is
Thank you.
precious. It means a lot to me because it's the regularity with which I speak to you, I think, is the
Yes.
key, rather than the big
Yes.
one-off. It's like, the fact that I'm able to speak to you every couple of months for 20 minutes just means that I know that you're okay and your family are well. That's good. But that
Thank you,
actually you're
John.
still out there activating. Yeah, cool.
Thank you, John. And I wish everyone a lot of safety in this year also, 2021. And I think all we can do is understand that environment and nature is giving us so many warnings in so many ways. Let's wake up and understand. Let's make the conversation, let's get the conversation rolling. I think that will really bring a lot of awareness to everybody.
That's great.
Thank you
Thanks
so
very much,
much.
Kavita. Bye.
Thank you. Such a pleasure. Thanks.